So yeah, the cliffhanger ending from episode 4 continues into episode 5, which is pretty much an action-packed episode that has a bunch of reveals that, spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about in this episode. So I'm still about a week behind because I'm getting caught up since I was on the road. So most of you have probably already watched episode 5. So it'll come as no surprise, and you're just waiting for my reaction. So here we go. So obviously we kind of already knew who the Dark Jedi was, or the Sith, whatever he's going to be. He says that the Jedi might call him a Sith, um, but he's the little street rat that May's been traveling along with, who she just thought was another one of his assistants, and it turns out he was the one all along. There is a bunch of underlying messages going on here. During the big bad fight between Soul and I think his name is Khmer. I'm horrible with names. So um, the big thing is that pretty much everyone dies in this episode, other than Soul, May, Osha, and the, the big baddie. Khmer, I think is his name, with the helmet. And I know a lot of people have, been surprised that they pulled some stuff from the Legends, the extended universe, with the helmet, the metal that the helmet is made out of, which can block lightsabers and disrupt them. But also, it seems to be able to block Jedi powers, so he can't have his mind read. So gives him an edge. What's interesting though is it seems to block powers from entering, but yet he can still do powers, which makes no sense to me because if it's blocking based on it being a material, why would it block only the incoming and not the outgoing as well? But I don't know because before poor old Jorg got wiped out, he was talking about how the guy was able to get in his head and disrupt him during the fight. So um, it was surprising that everyone died, but also really establishes how dangerous he is as an enemy, that he's able to come out of nowhere. We don't know his background yet. At least it has been revealed on season 5, and thankfully I haven't seen anything spoiled on the internet about that yet. I have seen some people talking about the fact that he's not necessarily a Sith, and in this episode we get why it's called the Acolyte, because he is searching for a student. He needs somebody to teach, and he wants to lead somebody and guide somebody. And his whole thing is he wants to be able to wield his power however he sees fit without the Jedi hunting him down. Now, the big fight between Soul and him, there's a lot of banter back and forth, and May hears some of this, or excuse me, well, I think Osha hears some of it too. Um, but essentially, Soul's hiding something, um, as it when it relates to Osha. And if I had to guess, I'm thinking that they did some mind manipulation to Osha after whatever traumatic event was that happened, because in her mind she thinks that her sister was the one who burned everything down. But yeah, when May confronts her at one of the points in the episode, kind of after the lightsaber duel, as that stuff's going on, um, she says, you were taken by the Jedi from us. You've been brainwashed, and she doesn't really say what really went down. She just, talks about how you were brainwashed. You don't know what you're talking about. The Jedi have, turned you against us. And I'm just wondering what really went down, and I'm hoping we're going to get the reveal of that, because during the big lightsaber fight between Soul and the big baddie kept referring back to how Soul has a very dark past, and we see Soul unleashing a little bit of dark side, a little bit of anger, a little bit of power during this fight, which I know I've seen online. Some people speculated that he might fall to the dark side by the end of this. We don't know. But the big thing here is that everyone dies, and at the end of it, the two sisters have a confrontation. May stuns Osha, cuts off her dreads so that she looks just like her sister, meets up with Soul, who's, coming out of it, and she's like, let's get off the planet. And meanwhile, the big baddie finds Osha laying on the ground and covers her with a jacket, and I'm assuming is taking her somewhere. Um, but yeah, this one was short and sweet, mostly just a combat paced episode. I will say that having now seen it, I talked about this in the episode 4 review. A lot of um, discussion was had about. I know the showrunner had said she was trying to make a lightsaber sequence that was as good as Duel of the Fates. Um, I will say that this was good lightsaber stuff. It was good lightsaber sequencing overall. Great choreography, great just overall action. I have nothing bad to say about any of the lightsaber sequences. Still not as good as Duel of the Fates, and that's just personal preference. I personally, and this is where some people are going to disagree with me, I rank it was Duel of the Fates for a very, very, very long time, um, followed by the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. It's just there's some great fight sequences. Sorry, Obi-Wan and Anakin. So it was always Obi-Wan and Darth Maul with Liam. That's like one of the coolest lightsaber fight sequences of all time. After that was Anakin versus Obi-Wan. You are a brother to me. I have the high ground. Um, and then that was it for a very long time. It's like the best of all time. And then the Obi-Wan show came out, and I immediately put that fight at the very, very top of my list. That fight sequence between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi is the coolest for me, the coolest lightsaber sequence of all time, followed by the Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, followed by um, uh, Obi-Wan and Anakin, and now followed by this because this was really, really, really good. As good as the others, no. In my mind, no. But it still was very cool. And one of the things I really like about the new shows, like with Obi-Wan and with this show, is they're using prop lightsabers now, which actually light up, and it does look, in my mind, a lot cooler than it used to in terms of only ever having like they were using, at one point, the aluminum stuff and just adding the VFX over. And there still are VFX here, but I like the fact that we have a physical prop that the actors are able to use with because it makes the lightsaber sequences, in my mind, um, the choreography feels spot on. This was very good. Um, Not the best lightsaber sequence of all time. Definitely better than anything that happened in the Skywalker saga, the last three films, which had some, it made sense for those films because everyone was untrained running around without any knowledge of really how to use lightsabers. So it made sense that those weren't as good as other time periods. Um, this was good. I don't know what else we'll see, but definitely in the top four lightsaber sequences of all time for me. So they did a great job with this. I got nothing bad to say about the episode. It was short and sweet, action packed, got lots of reveals. Can't wait to see episode 6. I'm going to try to watch that and get it up. The same day as this. This is coming out first thing in the morning. I should have episode 6 out later on in the day, and then I'll be caught up and I can watch episode 7 with everybody next week, and then episode 8 after that. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Don't forget daily streams here and on Twitch. Don't forget the Patreon and the Discord. I'll see you next time, everybody. May the Force be with you.